All right, good afternoon. It's your boy Big Rich coming to you live from the streets of Queens. Mob story, quick story, real quick. As I came back in from work, the weather's crazy, the traffic's building up. That's when I come home, wait for all these savages to empty the streets, and go back out there and collect what's mine, what's rightfully mine. You know what I'm saying? The streets, the money. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get right down to business before we even um before you even start. It's bad weather outside, so if you're gonna enter the room, you wipe your feet on the rug. You right? Throw some smoke in the air. Do what you gotta do. Light up. Got a little OG cushion. It tastes delicious. Manky. All right. Now, I told you guys we are gonna do spotlights and stories on everything involved with the Irishman. That's because everybody's talking about the Irishman right now. And if you missed this morning's show, I think we put down a pretty good critique between me, Mac J, and Clark, and a bunch of other people on how we felt about the movie, etc., etc. But there's so many different characters tied to this story. So of course I told Shattered. They said Shattered with your never ending wisdom. You think you could put something together for the mob story listeners so we could just highlight some of the characters? And he sent me some really great articles, and we're going to be covering that throughout the week, all right? But let's do something really quick and short for you guys to keep you satisfied till tomorrow. Let's do a little something on Joey Gallo, all right? Joey the Blonde, huh? The Irishman on Netflix, a true story behind the crazy Joe Gallo murder. Martin Scorsese's latest movie, The Irishman, streaming now on Netflix, is based on the book I Heard You Paint Houses, which features the real Frank Sheeran, played by Robert De Niro, confessing a few unsolved murders, including those of Jimmy Hoffa, Crazy Joe Gallo, who we see De Niro taking out in a clam restaurant in 1972. In the book written by Charles Brandt, Sheeran tells him, John Francis dropped me at Umberto's Clam House on the corner of Mulberry Street and Hester Street in Little Italy. I walked in the Mulberry Street door. I went straight ahead towards the bar. A split second later, I turned to face the table. Crazy Joe Gallo's driver got shot from behind. Crazy Joe swung around of his chair and headed down towards the corner door to the shooter's right. Could be he was trying to draw fire away from the table, or could be he was trying to save himself, but most likely he was trying to do both. It was easy to cut him off by going straight down the bar to the door and getting right behind him. He made it through Umberto's corner through the outside. Crazy Joe got shot about 3 times outside of the restaurant, not far from the corner door. Could be he had his piece in his car and he was going for the car. He had no chance of making it. Crazy Joe Gallo went to Australia on his birthday on a bloody city sidewalk. Despite this confession, the case officially remains unsolved, and some have questioned Sheeran's account of things. For example, a Slate article looking at some of Sheeran's claims, I heard you paint houses, features contemporary newspaper accounts calling Gallo's killer about 5'8", stocky, about 40 years old, and with receding dark hair, while other accounts write that the hitman was carried out by a little short, fat Italian. Sheeran, in contract, was a 6'3" Irishman. Sheeran, in contrast, was a 6'3" Irishman. This had led many to pin fellow mobster Carmine Sonny Pinto di Biasi as the killer. Sheeran is not the only person to have confessed to the crime. In 1972, the New York Times reported that a man named Joseph Luparelli had confessed to the crime under the orders of the head of the Colombo crime family, Joseph Iacovelli, a different account from that of the Irishman, which sees Russell Buffalino order Sheeran to do the hit. However, a lack of evidence means that no one has ever been convicted of the death. Speaking of some of the theories out there over who killed Gallo, Sheeran said in the book, the stories that are out there say that there were 3 shooters. But I'm not saying that. Maybe the bodyguard added 2 shooters to make himself look better. Maybe there were a lot of stray shots being fired from the 2 guns that made it seem like there were more than one shooter. I'm not putting anybody else in the thing but me. However, with nearly all the key people who could tell us what happened that night dead, it is unlikely we will ever know exactly who killed Crazy Joe Gallo. All right, like I said, something quick just to tie you guys down till tomorrow night. More articles on the way. I told you Mob Story Season 2 has begun. All right? As soon as I get the banner ready, like I said, we're gonna start going live at night on some of these stories. All right? Let's see what happens. That's it. Everything's an experiment. You got to see what happens. If you don't do it, how do you know what happens, right? So throw some smoke in the air. Everybody do the right thing. We'll see you guys Wednesday morning for Waking Up at Ruckus. And we'll see you tomorrow night for some more mob stories, all right?